Hello everyone, good evening. I'm Shreya Dhoundial. It's very good to see you. Ladies and gentlemen, you have seen the pictures by now. Let's put them out for you as well. The Prime Minister has landed in Israel, hugged Prime Minister Netanyahu at the airport, who had come to greet him and receive him, and is now set to address the Israeli Parliament, Knesset, in an hour from now. It's expected to begin at 8 o'clock. Ladies and gentlemen, when that happens, Prime Minister Modi will become the first Indian Prime Minister to do so. But even before the Prime Minister began his second trip to Israel, politics back home in India has erupted over it. It started with Priyanka Gandhi's tweet that said, and I quote, "I hope that the Honorable Prime Minister mentions the genocide of thousands of innocent men, women and children in Gaza while addressing the Knesset and demands justice for them." Essentially, ladies and gentlemen, the Congress is accusing the Prime Minister of abandoning the people of Gaza, who continue to be under attack from Israel. So far, 70,000 plus Palestinians have been killed in Israeli strikes in Gaza. But the criticism of the Prime Minister's trip has today been given a quote-unquote compromise twist by the Congress party. To cut a very long press conference short, I think that poster tells you the story. The Congress has claimed essentially that the Prime Minister's trip to Israel has come under Epstein's pressure. Therefore, the poster says, "Jeffrey ne bana di Jodi." Yes, of course, we know Epstein committed suicide in 2019, but the Congress today has insisted that he, which means Epstein, along with I.N.D.I.A and Hardeep Puri, were instrumental in shaping India's ties with Israel, both diplomatic and defense. In fact, the theme of the press conference was Jeffrey ne bana di Jodi, as the poster claims. Listen in to all the claims that have been made by Pawan Khera today.
अब जेफरी एप्स्टीन मेरे लिए, आपके लिए, किसी भी सामान्य व्यक्ति के लिए एक नामी यौन अपराधी है, एक बलात्कारी है। लेकिन हमारी मोदी सरकार के लिए, हमारी मोदी सरकार की विदेश नीति के लिए, मोदी सरकार की रक्षा नीति के लिए एप्स्टीन एक नायक है। You may get this doubt that Epstein is dead. Why am I talking about him in present tense? देखिए साहब, एप्स्टीन भले मर गया, एप्स्टीन हमारी सरकार के फैसलों में, हमारी सरकार की नीतियों में जिंदा है। एप्स्टीन एक विचार है। एप्स्टीन मरा नहीं करते, विचार कभी मरते नहीं है। एप्स्टीन नरेंद्र मोदी की विचारधारा है। नंबर एक, हरदीप पुरी एप्स्टीन से मिलते हैं। मिलने की उस मुलाकात के तुरंत बाद एप्स्टीन अनिल अंबानी को ढूंढते हैं। अनिल अंबानी से मुलाकात होती है। फिर एप्स्टीन अनिल अंबानी को ईमेल के माध्यम से एहुद बराक, भूतपूर्व प्रधानमंत्री इजराइल के, उनसे मिलवाते। 2 मार्च को अनिल अंबानी जेफरी एप्स्टीन को 3:11 पे एक मेल भेजते हैं। Will need your guidance on dealing with White House for India's relationship and defense cooperation.
So on one side, today the Congress has claimed that the Prime Minister has compromised India's foreign policy vis-a-vis Israel. On the other side, the BJP pulled out the history books. Once again, yes, and said that from Nehru to Rahul, the Congress party has a history of compromising India. In fact, their entire legacy, according to the BJP, is compromised. Rahul Gandhi's foreign trips were put out as meetings with anti-India forces. Then came Nehru and the compromise he made vis-a-vis China, reached surrendering Tibet and the UNSC seat to Beijing.
गांधी परिवार पूरी तरीके से एक कॉम्प्रोमाइज्ड राजनीतिक परिवार है। राहुल गांधी और उनके साथ उनकी कांग्रेस इज अ कॉम्प्रोमाइज्ड फैमिली, कॉम्प्रोमाइज्ड पॉलिटिकल पार्टी। ही इज नथिंग बट अ पपेट ऑफ एंटी इंडिया फोर्सेस, एंटी इंडिया ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस एंड एंटी इंडिया गवर्नमेंट्स।
एक समय था जब नेहरू जी ने खुद कहा था कि 45 करोड़ जनता मेरे लिए लायबिलिटी है, और उनका किस प्रकार से संबंध रहा विदेशी ताकतों के साथ वो हम सबको ही जानते हैं। राहुल को भी आपने देखा है कि किस प्रकार से विदेशी शक्तियों के कठपुतली बनकर वो काम करते हैं। 1954 में नेहरू ने किस प्रकार से बिना किसी रिवार्ड के तिब्बत में भारत के अधिकार को चीन को सौंप दिया। ये दिखता है कि राहुल गांधी की पूरी राजनीति कंप्रोमाइज लीगेसी को ही आगे बढ़ाने वाली रही है।
आज ये INC नहीं बल्कि CCP कॉम्प्रोमाइज कांग्रेस पार्टी तो बन चुकी है, पर आज ये INC ANC भी बन चुकी है, एंटी नेशनल कांग्रेस, और ये बन चुकी है ACP, अब्यूजिव कांग्रेस पार्टी।
And so, ladies and gentlemen, as the Prime Minister begins his Israel visit, the compromised battle rages on. Is this extremely combative political war actually compromising India? My guest this evening, and I'm going to thank all of them for being with us this evening, Sanju Verma is national spokesperson of the BJP, joining us on the broadcast. Deepak Reddy is national spokesperson of the TDP, with us on the broadcast as well. Salman Soos, spokesperson of the Congress Party, thank you very much for being with us. And Kapil Srivastav, spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party, with us as well. And as I begin my discussion, can I just request my producers to put out the pictures that have just come in to us from Israel. Sanju Verma, I'll come to you in just a bit. I think Salman Soos needs to start this debate. Mr. Salman Soos, I very carefully heard the entire press conference by Mr. Pawan Khera. My simple question to you is this, before I begin with anything else. Here's the Prime Minister embarking on an important trip to a country that has been a trusted partner for a very long time, right? Was this Kalesh necessary? Was dragging Epstein and Hardeep Singh Puri and Anil Ambani really necessary today?
Yes, absolutely. The country deserves answers. We want transparency in government. In February 2017, Anil Ambani emails Jeffrey Epstein and seeks advice on India's defense dealings. And he asks, what can you offer in return? And he says the entire Indian market. Now, this is documented in the Epstein files. Around the same time, Hardeep Puri is meeting Jeffrey Epstein. In fact, Jeffrey Epstein is in the same building where there's a Mossad agent, a senior Mossad agent operating out of that building. And after that, now between 2020 and 2024, defense imports from Israel have gone up, skyrocketed. We are the biggest, purchasers of defense exports, right?
TK.
So the question is, and by the way, after all this happens, the government of India, just before the US Supreme Court was to weigh in on Trump's tariffs, we strike an interim framework agreement in which we say that we're going to buy $500 billion worth of imports over 5 years, that we are not going to purchase Russian oil. So these are all connected things. We need answers. Okay. We are asking answers. The government has to answer. The government cannot say, now I'm going for the government's business.
But even the opposition, sir, needs to answer some questions, because you are the ones raising some very grave charges against the government of India as the Prime Minister begins the trip. I want to ask you, I understand there are email exchanges between Epstein, between Ehud Barak, a former Israeli Prime Minister, also a former defense minister, between Anil Ambani. But what does that, they may have made whatever claims they want to make. But is there any proof that they had access to the Prime Minister? Why are you saying India's national interest, its foreign policy and its defense policy vis-a-vis Israel is compromised because of Epstein? I mean, the theme of the press conference was, Jeffrey ne bana di jodi. Ye jodi Jeffrey ne to nahi banai na. Ye jodi to Nehru ji ne banai thi. When did India recognize the state of Israel? 1950, who was the Prime Minister? When did India establish full diplomatic ties with Israel? 1992, who was the Prime Minister? P.V. Narasimha Rao. So ye Jeffrey ne to nahi banai hai na jodi.
I think to make that point is basically like giving a free pass to the BJP. The fact of the matter is that we are asking questions. We are in the opposition. We have to ask questions on behalf of the country. The government's responsibility is to respond, because a union minister no less than a union minister has been found dealing with Jeffrey Epstein. No less than one of the biggest industrialists at that time was in contact with Jeffrey Epstein, talking about doing deals, talking about opening up the Indian market. What are we? So are we not?
Okay, but is there a shred?
Supposed to ask questions?
Is there a?
Are we just supposed to say that okay, do whatever you want?
Is there a shred of documentation that says that the conversations between Epstein and Hardeep Puri and possibly Anil Ambani and Ehud Barak had anything to do with the Prime Minister? And they may have claimed what they did. Is there any proof to tell us that the Prime Minister was compromised? No. These are wild claims. Anyway, Sanju Verma will respond to the allegations that have been made by the Congress party today.
And Shreya, I've been listening to Salman Soz for the last 4 minutes. I hope I will get similar time because I don't want to be rushed. Let me make one thing very clear. There is this famous Hindi saying, हमको मालूम है जन्नत की हकीकत क्या है, लेकिन दिल को बहलाने के लिए गाली भी एक ख्याल अच्छा है. Congress party knows it is electorally vanquished. Congress party knows Rahul se na ho paega. Congress party knows out of the 6 assembly elections post June 2024, BJP won 4 with a strike rate of 67%. Congress scored a duck. Congress did not win assembly elections in a single state. Neither Jharkhand nor Jammu Kashmir nor Haryana nor Maharashtra nor Delhi where they scored a duck. But the limited point is this. What does a debilitated Congress so-called clown prince do? He decides to make reckless, baseless, unsubstantiated allegations at the BJP, at the Modi government, at the drop of a hat, both inside and outside parliament. But today, I will use your platform, your widely watched show to say this. Thank God for Prime Minister Narendra Modi that in 2017, he became the first Prime Minister in almost 70 odd years to visit Israel and elevate our bilateral relationship to a strategic partnership. And guess what? In 2023, the Modi government launched the India-Middle East-Europe Economic Corridor called the IMEC, or IMEC, whatever you want to call it. And then, of course, thank God for Narendra Modi that the Indian foreign policy vis-a-vis Israel and Palestine were de-hyphenated.
Okay.
I think that's a big positive. No, Shreya, wait. You gave him 4 minutes. I need 1 more minute.
Achha, bolo bhai.
The final point I want to make is this. You spoke about Jeffrey Epstein. You spoke about what Pawan Khera said. Who the hell is Pawan Khera? Pawan Khera is basically a Darbari desperate to get a Rajya Sabha seat. But I want to focus on the more important thing. Wait, you have to give me 30 seconds. When did India stand compromised? It stood compromised when Nehru decided to give away Akshay Chin on a golden platter to the Chinese. India was compromised when Indira Gandhi gave away Kachativu Islands to Sri Lanka in 1974. India was compromised when Rajiv Gandhi allowed Warren Anderson to flee the country after the horrific Bhopal gas tragedy. And India was compromised when Congress workers hijacked a plane, putting to risk 126 people inside a flight simply to ensure that Indira Gandhi was safe and sound. And India was compromised when 1975 emergency lagakar Indira Gandhi ne democracy ki dhajjiyan uda di. And India was compromised when Rahul Gandhi goes abroad and says to the United States, why are the US and European Union not intervening in India? Directly calling for intervention in India's internal affairs. That is called compromise.
Okay. Salman Soz, just come in here. It's to me, it sounded very odd when Mr. Khera in that rather elaborate press conference spoke about India and Israel's growing defense ties. And he pointed out to a figure to say that between 2020 and between 2024, India becomes Israel's largest defense partner. What is the problem in that? You know this, I know this, the entire country knows this, that in 1962 with the war in China, Israel helps us with military aid. 1971, war with Pakistan, again we get Israeli help. 1992, drones, munitions come from Israel. That is something also that is very well known. What is the problem if our defense ties with Israel are growing? Do you want us just to be dependent on the Russians like we were for a very, very long time? Does it make sense? Does this criticism make sense at all? That because we are compromised, we started buying more arms and ammunition from Israel. That simply doesn't make sense.
I think you're basically, you have to look at what Pawan Khera was saying, because the context is the Epstein files have revelations that tie Hardeep Puri to a house, to a building where the Mossad agent was working. And after that, we have more and more defense imports from Israel. So that's one part. And by the way, you should do some data research. If you think that there's you should look at Israel's ties to China then. China does a lot more business with Israel than we do. Do you have any data on that? I can share data with you. And by the way, let me come to Madam Sanju Verma. She talked about Jawaharlal Nehru. BJP spokesperson should wash their mouths before they take Nehru's name. In fact, Jawaharlal Nehru was on the CIA hit list. Why? Because he was the founder of the non-aligned movement. Because, and by the way, the Secretary of State, I.N.D.I.A, he was Dallas. They said that basically they put out, they were totally against Jawaharlal Nehru because they thought that this was immoral, non-aligned movement. She talked about Mrs. Gandhi. They should wash their mouths before they talk about Mrs. Gandhi. When President Nixon, the BJP, I think one of the leaders called her an agent of the CIA. They should be ashamed, totally ashamed. If she was a CIA agent, somebody should have told President Nixon because he sent an
But there were compromises made vis-a-vis China.
Aircraft carrier to the Bay of Bengal.
There were compromises made vis-a-vis China. Example, giving up our claim on Tibet. Example, giving up the UNSC seat for the Chinese. Those are documented facts, historical facts, no?
Let me talk about China. Let me document you something too. If these people are saying that Congress party is compromised, they'll say that there is an MOU, for example, right? They'll say that. First, you tell them if we have done something wrong, then you should launch an inquiry. Second, if we are talking about China, why did the BJP send delegations to China? Why did the RSS send delegations to China?
Sanju will respond to that.
Why did the Chinese Communist Party come to the RSS?
Sanju will respond to that. Sanju, go ahead, please. Then I'm going to come to the Palestinian question because there are questions being raised about India abandoning Palestine. But Sanju, first respond to the charges that are coming from Salman Soz.
You know, Shreya, let me make one thing very clear. Salman Soz kept repeating, let Sanju Verma watch her mouth. No, it is Rahul Gandhi who needs to watch his mouth because Rahul Gandhi's mouth is running non-stop, demeaning the position of LOP. And let me say one thing to you. The Mitrokin archives called Indira Gandhi a KGB asset. She was compromised. Daniel Patrick Moynihan, the former US ambassador to India, clearly said Indira Gandhi used CIA to destabilize the erstwhile left government in West Bengal, but failed to do so. But she did make an attempt. And let me tell you one more thing. You know, Beaufort scandal. Rajiv Gandhi did not cover himself in glory. He was compromised. But my final point, Shreya, wait. You gave him 4 minutes. India signed an FTA with Mauritius. India signed an FTA with Australia. India signed an FTA with the United Kingdom. India signed an FTA with EFTA, Scandinavian countries. India signed an FTA with EU covering 24% of global population, 33% of global trade, and 25% of global GDP. But Shreya, did you see Rahul Gandhi applauding the Modi government once? No. And let me tell you, Salman Soz, your Rajiv Gandhi Foundation took donations from a radical Islamist criminal called Zakir Naik. Sharam bachi hai ya nahi tumme? Sharam aati hai ya nahi batao?
Mr. Soz, while you can, I'll give you 1 minute to respond. I'll give you 1 minute to respond, but you spoke about Israel's trade ties with China, right? Please understand that even Russia trades with China. So every country that trades with China or has trading and defense links with China, we should stop working with. ऐसे कैसे चलेगा, Mr. Soz?
Look, first of all, I'll just say to Sanju Verma that she should just calm down by shouting. By shouting so much, it doesn't mean that she's right. I think viewers should think about one thing. I'll give you an example because BJP people are very weak in history. The episode she talks about destabilizing governments, etc. What she may not know is that it was the RSS joining hands with the church in Kerala to go after the communist government. And who was funding them? She may not know, but she should read history books for that. Okay. As far as your question is concerned, should we do business or should we not do business? What we should do is we should have transparency in government.
I need to make a quick point in 30 seconds, please.
If there are some serious allegations being made, if there are serious charges, if there are things in one of the worst scandals
But what is the
history
charge? I don't even understand the charge.
The world, the Epstein scandal.
Sir, I understand the Epstein scandal, but there has to be something that links and ties the Prime Minister's trip to Israel with Epstein. Epstein has been dead since 2019.
But you see, only those people can really understand who keep an open mind. If you don't have an open mind, what can I do? We are telling you.
Arey bhai, but you have to give us proof na. You can't tell us. You have to give us proof also and say, see, this is how the Prime Minister is compromised. Now, you've put out a couple of emails, drawn some links, put 2, 3, 4, 5 together, and you're presenting a picture which I am finding difficult to digest. But anyhow, let's just open this up. Achha, Mr. Soos, let's just open this up to others as well. Kapish Srivastava is spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party. He's joining us on the broadcast. So is Deepak Reddy, who's not upset, even though it's 7:18 and we haven't come to them. So thank you both for your patience. Kapish ji, सवाल मेरा simple है. इंपॉर्टेंट ट्रिप पे है प्राइम मिनिस्टर, जरा भाई दिखा दीजिए पिक्चर्स प्राइम मिनिस्टर की और नेतन्याहू की पिक्चर्स जी. देखिए, आप तस्वीरें देख लीजिए. आप जब 8 बजेंगे प्राइम मिनिस्टर कनेसेट में होंगे, जो कि इजराइल की पार्लियामेंट है, और वहां पे जाके वो इजराइल की पार्लियामेंट से बात करेंगे. एंड व्हेन ही डज दैट, ही विल बिकम द फर्स्ट इंडियन प्राइम मिनिस्टर टू डू सो. सो दिस इज एन इंपॉर्टेंट विजिट. कपिश जी, मैं आपसे पूछना चाहती हूँ कि इतनी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉरेन विजिट से पहले ये डोमेस्टिक कलेश जरूरी है क्या?
नहीं, देखिए, बात इस चीज की है कि जो जेफरी एप्स्टीन की फाइल के अंदर जिस मेल का जिक्र किया गया है, जो अमेरिका के प्रेसिडेंट को बताते हुए उन्होंने ये कहा कि ये तो हमने मोदी से बात कर ली है, उनको गाइड कर दिया है, वो जाएंगे वहां डांस करेंगे.
अब मैं आपसे बोलूं, नहीं मैं आपसे बोलूं कि मैंने मोदी से बात कर ली है और मैंने ट्रंप से बात कर ली है और मैं मॉरिशस में जाके डांस करूंगी, तो मैंने बोला ना आपसे, ये तो मैंने क्लेम किया.
देखिए जेफरी,
हाँ, लेकिन प्राइम मिनिस्टर मोदी को तो मेरी एग्जिस्टेंस के भी बारे में पता नहीं है और ट्रंप को तो मेरी एग्जिस्टेंस के भी बारे में पता नहीं है. तो मैं कुछ भी बोलती रहूं, उसके आधार पे हम प्राइम मिनिस्टर मोदी और डोनाल्ड ट्रंप को तो नहीं लटका सकते ना.
देखिए, आपको नहीं पता या हमको नहीं पता, तो इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि वो सत्य भी हो सकता है और झूठ भी हो सकता है.
हाँ.
लेकिन कम से कम हमारे प्राइम मिनिस्टर ऑफ इंडिया को साफ बात करनी चाहिए. ये लोग कह रहे हैं कंप्रोमाइज पीएम है. हम कहते हैं कंप्रोमाइज पीएम होना कोई बुरी बात नहीं. जब आप समझौते करेंगे कहीं ना कहीं तो एक दूसरे के ट्रेड में झुकना पड़ता है. ये सरेंडर पीएम है, ये सरेंडर पीएम है. और मैं आपको शुरुआत से दिखा देता हूँ. जब ये पाकिस्तान से हमारी जिस तरीके से चीजें चल रही थी, आपने देखा कि पठानकोट एयर बेस पे जो हमला हुआ था उसकी जांच इन्होंने आईएसआई को दे दी और भारत की संप्रभुता को खा लिया. तो ये हमें बताइए, सरेंडर हुए कि नहीं पाकिस्तान? और वहीं जब पाकिस्तान से इन्होंने कहा कि हम आपके यहाँ जांच करना चाहते हैं, तो पाकिस्तान ने तो मना कर दिया, कहा हम सॉवरेन कंट्री है, हम नहीं देंगे आप. तो आप बताओ ये सरेंडर था कि नहीं था? दूसरी चीज मैं एक बात कह रहा हूं कि हमारे पीएम साहब या हमारे रक्षा मंत्री या किसी के भी कहने से पहले ये ट्रंप साहब जो उनके माननीय मित्र हैं, जो उन पर रह रह करके धमकी देते रहते हैं कि 50 गुना लगा देंगे तो 100 गुना कर देंगे, और जिस तरीके से उन्होंने भारत के नागरिकों को
साफ खुल के बोलिए, आप साफ मुझे खुल के बोलिए कि कॉम्प्रोमाइज कैसे हैं, क्यों है?
कॉम्प्रोमाइज नहीं है,
प्राइम
सरेंडर
मिनिस्टर के खिलाफ क्या है, आप मुझे बताइए.
मैं आपको निवेदन कर रहा हूं,
एप्स्टीन फाइल्स बोल रहे हैं आप, हरदीप पुरी बोल रहे हैं आप, अनिल अंबानी बोल रहे हैं, ये तो उनकी बातचीत चल रही है ना, उनकी गुटरगू चल रही है. मैं आपसे पूछ रही हूँ कुछ ऐसा है हमारे सामने जो हमें बता रहा है कि प्राइम मिनिस्टर ने भी ईमेल लिखा और उन्होंने बोला हाँ मैं ट्रंप से मिलूंगा, हाँ मैं ज्यादा रक्षा सौदे करूंगा इजराइल से. कुछ है हमारे पास? नहीं ना.
बता दिया. अभी तो
हवा में तीर मारने का क्या फायदा है?
हमारे देश के ऑनरेबल मिनिस्टर 4 बार मिल रहे हैं। आप बताइए।
Mr. Deepak Reddy, can you make sense of what is going on today?
I'm looking at the wonderful photos that you're playing on the screen. I mean, looking at both the prime ministers, I mean, it's like two brothers meeting, two democracies, two countries with shared values, two countries affected by terrorism, two countries with deep respect for each other and support for each other, above all, trust each other. You know, the Congress, I've been seeing them from the morning, some of the leaders talking. With what consistency they take an anti-India stand is absolutely shocking. In this particular trip, even the Arab nations have not opposed so far, but it is the Congress party which is opposing the trip. I mean, how anti-national can they be? I mean, as you just said, from 1950 to 1992, 42 years, the dynasty, not one trip they have taken to Israel. And Narendra Modi ji, this is the third trip. I would like to question, why didn't the dynasty take even a single trip? Although, I mean, you have just mentioned the number of wars Israel has supported us. And clearly, when a friend supports us, I mean, it has to be reciprocated. I'm looking at the Palestinian issue, which you just raised. Looking at 1971 war, 62, or the Kargil war. I mean, they took a neutral stand when all it came to Pakistan. They really didn't come forward.
And honestly, India has not abandoned Palestine, given the fact that barely 6 days ago, India was part of one of the 100 countries, I think, who signed on to a declaration saying that they completely condemn Israel's expansionist plans in West Bank. They have said that. So it's not like the Palestinian cause has been abandoned. The fact is that aid has been sent to Palestine. Wheat has been sent, medicines have been sent. But there's some breaking news coming in. I'll take, a minute for that. Come to Salman Khost, Sanju Verma, and then wrap this debate. We have a tweet from Rahul Gandhi. Can we just put that on air? This is for my production team. I'm going to read it. It's in Hindi. It says, Narendra surrender Modi. आपको US trade deal रद्द करने की चुनौती दिए हुए 24 घंटे से ज्यादा हो गए हैं. आप फिर खामोशी से इजराइल निकल गए. एक बार तो आप एप्स्टीन के कहने पर इजराइल में डांस एंड सिंग कर ही चुके हैं. अब की बार वहां किसके कहने पर देश के हितों के खिलाफ सौदा करने आएंगे, सौदा करके आएंगे. मिस्टर सोज, दिस इज एस्केलेशन.
This is not escalation. This is accountability. We are asking for accountability from the very beginning.
Sanju? Sanju, go ahead.
Shreya, I just want to say this. Rahul Gandhi's language is worse than a truant kindergartner. तमीज नहीं है, बदतमीज, बेहुदा इंसान. राहुल गांधी उसका नाम है. But I will just say this. Rahul Gandhi, प्रधानमंत्री मोदी को औकात देने, प्रधानमंत्री मोदी को चुनौती देने की आपकी औकात नहीं है. And I'll tell you why. Rahul Gandhi, you've lost for your Congress party 3 Lok Sabha elections in a row. Rahul Gandhi, you've lost for your Congress party more than 95 big and small elections. And Rahul Gandhi, your sister Priyanka Vadra, won the Wayanad bypoll by taking the help of Jamaat-e-Islami and Jamaat-e-Ulema Hind. And my final point is this. Do you know who has been supporting the Rajiv Gandhi Foundation apart from Zakir Naik? It's a man called Mehul Choksi. He is an economic fugitive. शर्म आती है या नहीं? मेहुल चोकसी से राजीव गांधी फाउंडेशन ने पैसे क्यों लिए? इसका जवाब दीजिए.
Mr. Soz, I'm again going to read out the last part of Rahul Gandhi's tweet, and please help me understand if this is the language you use for the Prime Minister of this country. He's not an enemy. He's an opponent. He's not an enemy. This is the language. एक बार तो आप एप्स्टीन के कहने पर इजराइल में डांस एंड सिंग कर ही चुके हैं. अब की बार वहां किसके कहने पर देश के हितों के खिलाफ सौदा करके आएंगे. This is what Rahul Gandhi has just tweeted as the Prime Minister is getting ready to address Israel's parliament.
Shreya, when you asked me the question earlier, the BJP spokesperson decided that she doesn't want to listen to anybody and she had to interrupt. I think those are bad manners. BJP spokesperson should be taught some manners before they're sent on national television. Okay? Now, as far as Mr. Gandhi's tweet is concerned, let me just say, in politics, just like our friend from TDP, Mr. Reddy, he calls the founding party of this country, the country that fought for this country's independence, he calls us anti-nationals. That is shameful. Mr. Reddy should know better than that. And that is not decent language about your political opponent.
Okay.
As far as the Congress party is concerned, let me just reiterate. There are serious allegations in the Epstein files. Those allegations must be investigated just like they're being investigated in other countries. In other countries, heads are rolling in terms of resignations or arrests. The former prince of the United Kingdom has been arrested. We want answers as far as Mr. Hardeep Puri, the minister, is concerned, Mr. Anil Ambani, and allegations about the Prime Minister singing and dancing in Israel as a result of advice received from Jeffrey Epstein. These deserve answers. These deserve an investigation. I think that is reasonable.
All right. We'll leave it there. What our viewers deserve is both points of view. Sanju is holding something. Sanju, jaldi se pad do. My producer is scolding me. He is saying show time is over, but I will give you 20 seconds. Jaldi se pad dijiye, we'll wrap this show.
मैंने ये लिखा है, राहुल गांधी इज अ लायबिलिटी एंड अ डेडवुड. जो आदमी वर्ल्ड की 4th लार्जेस्ट इकोनॉमी को डेड इकोनॉमी बोलता है, इसका मतलब राहुल गांधी upper story is empty, and I'm not going to mince my words. राहुल गांधी एक बदतमीज इंसान है, बेहुदा इंसान है.
We'll leave it there for the moment. ठीक है, चलिए. Okay, we'll leave it there for the moment. Our viewers have heard from all sides, so I'm going to thank all of you for joining us this evening. Sanju Verma, Deepak Reddy, Salman Soz, Kapil Srivastav, thank you very much for your time. It's 7:28, ladies and gentlemen. Sharp at 8 p.m. is when the Prime Minister is expected to arrive at the Knesset and address the Israeli parliament there. It's expected to be an hour and a half affair. We'll, of course, be live on that. So do stay with us. For the moment, a quick break.